I'm going to talk to you about a tool that I call 2 dimensions and 4 cultures. I should right away give credit for this work to Rob Joff and Gareth Jones, 2 sociologists from British sociologists, and they took the elements of sociology as in societies and they applied that in terms of culture to culture in corporations. So, they took learnings from societal cultures and moved it to business cultures. And so, I am going to talk about some of their work. They talk about 2 dimensions, a dimension called sociability and a dimension called solidarity in any organization. Whatever the organization you have, be it a private for-profit commercial enterprise, be it a not-for-profit enterprise, be it a government institution, a public institution or a private institution, in any organization there is a sociability and a solidarity. Let me define these 2 terms. Sociability is a measure of sincere friendliness amongst the people in the organization. How friendly are they with each other and how engaged are they with each other socially? Solidarity is a measure of the collective commitment of the organization to the objectives of the organization. How committed are they to getting the job done? Sociability is how much do they like each other. Solidarity is how focused are they on getting the job done. Different cultures emphasize different aspects of these 2 dimensions. Remember, solidarity is how collectively focused are they on the mission, not how individually they are focused on the mission. Similarly, sociability isn't how do I socialize as a person, but how do we collectively socialize as a group. So, they talk about the 4 quadrants of this model. This group here they call a networked organization. Here they call this group, somebody in this segment, a fragmented organization, a mercenary organization up here, and a communal organization up here. Let me describe each one of them. A networked organization is usually an organization that has a long life, has rich history, where knowledge is transferred from people to people over time. As people come in and people go out, knowledge is transferred through telling stories, through rituals, through the way they practice things, and that knowledge is carried over time. These are networked organizations where rituals are highly visible. The organization is very noticeable. In fact, people are very friendly with each other. There are long time frames. The institutional knowledge is critical. Examples of such organizations let me take some extremes, a country club, a research institution. These are good examples of organizations that have long history, lots of knowledge, and people work very closely together to create. They are focused much more on the sociability axis. They are not as focused collectively on the solidarity axis. A fragmented organization is neither focused collectively on the sociability nor on the solidarity. There is a low level of belongingness in these organizations. In fact, the pieces of the organization operate rather independently. But processes are vital. Processes are not vital. So, the processes in these organizations, each department has their own process. Examples of these organizations, a group of lawyers, a group of accountants, a real estate firm where individual real estate agent operates individually. Now, they have some collective processes, but they pretty much operate in their realm. If you go to a law office, the defense attorney is not really doing inheritance and wills. When you need that work, he sends you to a colleague of his on the other floor who does that work. Here, they each operate as a collective entity only for the purpose of convenience. A mercenary organization is one where people are really focused on the mission. That we are all working together is incidental, and the sociability is as necessary, but not the objective. Here, the communication is all about business. Wasted communication on social affairs is rather harmful or is viewed as being detrimental to the objectives of the business. In these organizations, work is not life. I have my own life. I'm here to work. I'm going to do the job here. Where does this work very well? In rapidly changing environments. In organizations and companies that are in rapid markets, you will find many high-tech companies have a mercenary culture. You are there to get the job done. You are intolerant in these organizations. You are intolerant of non-performance. Performance is mandatory, and I don't care if you're my friend or foe, if you do not perform, you're out. Communal organizations. These are usually found in mature organizations. Here, in these communal organizations, there is a commingling of identities of who you are and who this organization is. You and the organization become one and the same. There is risk and reward balance. Over time, you take risk, you get rewards. Everything is long term. There are established processes. Things move very slowly in communal organization. In contrast, things move very fast in mercenary organizations. In communal organizations, there are long horizons. In mercenary organizations, things move like this, and it's what happens next Tuesday that matters, maybe next month, possibly next year, but not 10 years from now. Communal organizations is all about the long term. There is nothing right or wrong about any one of these. Each one is appropriate for a different company at a different time. But there is something called the backward Z phenomenon that occurs. When you have an organization that is in this zone, it seems like this is very good. It seems like you get the best of both worlds. There is solidarity and there is sociability. But when things change, when for whatever reason, be it economic slowdown, a recession, a management change, for whatever reason, when things start going south, do you know what slips first? Solidarity slips before sociability. Why is that? Sociability has a high stickiness factor. Sociability doesn't reduce very quickly. Solidarity, every year you got to produce, every quarter you got to produce. And so when you start slowing down for some reason, you start going down in solidarity, but sociability stays right up there. So the organization moves like this. And what do you think happens when you finally reach very low solidarity? Well, somebody gets upset. Maybe it's the board of directors that get upset. Maybe it's the owners that get upset. They remove the management. They bring new management in. What do you think new management says? Their focus is going to be what? Their focus is going to be to improve solidarity. Do they associate any value with the sociability? Not at all. They're not friends anymore. They're all new people. You're friends amongst yourselves, but the new guy, he's not friends with you. They move the organization from here, increasing solidarity, but reducing sociability. And then everybody starts complaining. Remember those good old days? Remember when we used to have fun in the office? When we used to want to come to work? We used to have those great parties. What happened to those days? Well, there is discontent. And this can't last for very long because you paid a price for the solidarity. At some point, you can't pay any more price. You're down to almost zero sociability. So now solidarity starts impacting you again. You end up here. So you have to be careful if you're in this place that you don't follow the backward Z slide all the way down to fragmented. Again, there is nothing right or wrong about any one of them. Wherever you are, understand why you are there, whether it is appropriate for the nature of the business you have, whether you are promoting those values that are appropriate for that group, and then intentionally cause a culture that's one of those four: solidarity and sociability. 2 dimensions, 4 cultures.